Alright guys, what's going on? So we just reached 3000 subscribers on this YouTube channel. So first, I wanted to thank you all for your support. You guys are amazing. And for this occasion, I thought it would be interesting to do something different. And as you guys know, I usually, most of the time, make my videos in my car. So today I'm gonna show you what I see when I am behind my steering wheel when I go for a drive. So welcome to my French countryside, and today I'm gonna talk about why you should be proud of being an American and what the advantages are of being an American in 2025 from a European perspective. So here we go with the first one. The one you take for granted for sure is American English. You do speak American English. And to me, if you master American English like a native, you are already a millionaire. Period. Okay? Nowadays, it's all about communication online, with social media, of course. And the US is the biggest market on earth, especially when it comes to social media, for example. In the world, the English type that is the most widely learned is American English, not UK English or Australian English. So it's very important to understand, speak and write American English. I do consider people here in Europe will not speak at least English like a disability, you know? I see it as a disability. If you don't speak at least English in this world, you're screwed. And you do speak American English. So it's a very, it's an advantage to speak American English for sure. You can talk to other Americans, you can sell them something, you can use social media, you can use the opportunities the US still offers, because the US at this point is still the land of opportunities. Everything which is a little bit at least innovative comes from the US still. You know, it's not China, it's not freaking Russia or India, it's still the US. It's a privilege to be an American native speaker. Okay, so don't take it for granted. It's definitely a privilege. And you have got access to the biggest market in the world. Okay, when it comes to work, doing business and so on, nothing beats the US market at this point. No matter if you're an employee or an entrepreneur. Okay, you don't have to live in the US, but if you can work or be involved in the US market, then I think you're doing good. And we Europeans, we don't have this privilege. If you don't speak English, of course. Okay, and you do speak it at the native level. So congratulations. Next, the US still offers high salaries. So okay, I can hear you there say, yeah, but our cost of living is so high. I get it, you know, I read a lot about the US. I understand what's going on there, you know. I know everything is crazy expensive now and it's running out of control. But still, on average, Americans make good money compared to us Europeans, for example. The people you can see here in their cars, for example, in my countryside, on average they make between, after taxes of course, between 60k and 30k per year, and that's it. Okay, in America the medium household makes around 70k if I'm not mistaken. Okay, and it's quite easy in comparison to reach six figures. Here in France, in Europe, if you make six figures, you're already, you know, doing great. You are a manager, you have a good degree, you speak foreign languages, you are, you know, a fancy IT specialist. It's not that common. In the US, it's quite common, you know, you can meet, I've met a lot of Americans who made six figures quite easily, okay? So, in my opinion, and I've traveled a lot and I've seen, you know, how people evolve in different markets, in Asia, and in the US. I've been to the US myself, of course, in Europe, in Russia, and so on. It's easier to lower your living expenses than to make more money. So if you make already a high salary, you can always find a way to spend less. Okay, move to another state, for example, in the US, or move abroad. You don't have to be necessarily in the US. You can use the US, you know, to make your money, but live abroad, for example. Okay, that's another solution. It's easier to lower your living expenses. Move to another country, to another state, move into a smaller house or into an apartment, or even in a truck if really everything is so terrible. Okay, than to make more money. Once you are in a country in which the salaries are low, or, you know, the purchasing power of the population is weak, it's still possible to make money. Some make more money. You have good entrepreneurs everywhere, but it is way more difficult. Okay, it's very more difficult to increase your income a lot if you are in a country with lower income. So France is not, of course, the third world. It's still the West. Salaries aren't that bad here, but compared to what Americans make, as I was saying, people don't make that much here. So if you manage, for example, to have a good US income, okay, and keep that income, work remotely, or have a business related to the US and move, for example, to the French countryside, you're doing great. Here, for example, in the French countryside, if you make 100K per year after taxes, you're doing very well. Okay, you can afford a nice house in a safe place, the car you want. You can afford kids, of course. You can travel a lot and so on. You know, you will be living way better than the average French person in the countryside. That's for sure. Okay. So yeah, if you can use this arbitrage and be smart, use your language, native American English, your American opportunities on the American market, and move to another country or to a cheaper state, I think you can still have a good life. And most people in this world don't have this possibility. They are living in poor countries or in countries where wages are lower, opportunities are less, and they can't move to another country that easily and make a greater life, you know, to live the American dream, which is now leaving America, so to speak, okay? Next, freedom of speech. You guys don't realize how great your freedom of speech is, okay? So I'm a Western European. Freedom of speech is still quite good here in France, in the Netherlands. It's getting worse in the UK. I don't know what's happening in the UK, but you know, it's looking like a bit like Russia or Iran nowadays. You know, they sometimes throw people in jail for Facebook posts. But other than the UK, here in Europe, freedom of speech is still quite good, but still not as good as in the US. When I see sometimes people on YouTube or on forums online writing, talking about stuff, I say, wow, I couldn't even talk about this freely in France. Okay. Or in the Netherlands, for example, let alone in Russia, Iran, or China, of course. These are dictatorships. But you guys have a freedom of speech. You can talk freely about a lot of stuff, and that is something you guys take for granted, but you should cherish. Okay, you should do everything to keep your freedom of speech. It's very valuable, and I can't come up with a country that has more freedom of speech than the US. Okay, really. And I do respect the US a lot for that, because there is freedom of speech. Okay, some may say it's getting worse and so on. Maybe. But even compared to Europe, it's better. And it doesn't even compare to Russia. Russia nowadays is a totalitarian country. China, of course, is way worse. Iran, North Korea, these are dictatorships. And there's no freedom of speech whatsoever there. Okay, so that's another perk of being an American. And definitely sometimes I see, you know, people talking about stuff on YouTube and so, wow, you guys are talking about this. I would like to talk about this as well. Especially when I was living in Russia, I couldn't talk that freely, you know. I say, wow, these Americans they have good lives there. That's for sure. And another perk of being an American, of course, is a strong passport. So we Western Europeans, even Eastern Europeans now, do have good passports nowadays as well. But still, the American passport is a strong passport. It's pretty easy to move to another country with an American passport and to get visas and so on. Americans are still appreciated. So of course, some low IQ people, stupid people may say, you know, may blame the Americans for everything, what's going on in the world. I don't agree with that, you know. It's very low level to think like that. But with an American passport, you can move easily to another country, easily get another visa. If you have a Russian passport, it's not that easy. If you have a Chinese passport, it's not that easy. With an Indian or other third world shithole country passport, it's difficult sometimes to move to another country. You can easily move. Okay, so that's another perk of being an American in 2025, I think. So yeah, stop whining, you Americans. You still have a lot of opportunities, and I think a great country. It has its cons. I've been to the US, I've seen it myself, you know, I've been in different places. But overall, I still liked it, you know. It's a big country with a lot of variety of, you know, landscapes. There is something for everyone in the US. And in my opinion, the US is a great country, no matter what some people now say, criticize and so on. Of course, they are allowed to criticize. This is freedom of speech, but it's still, to me, a great country. Anyway, if you found this interesting, smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe. If you are an American and you want to comment, feel free to leave your comment below. If you are a European or coming from another country, feel free to leave your comment below and comment what I'm saying if you think I've forgotten something or something you disagree with. And in the links below, in the description, you can book a one-on-one call with me if you want to move abroad, have some help, experience, become location independent, launch an online business, for example, something I've been doing for 8 years now, or find a remote job. You're looking for experience from a quite international person. Here we go. It's in the description. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to subscribe, and talk to you soon. And let's reach 10K, guys. Bye for now.